What?
Just restart it. Just do it again. Say, hello everyone. Welcome to this episode of Phantom Ferrari podcast. We have some exciting news.
What is the news?
The news is that our friends over at Loot Complex decided to give us a coat to use.
You can't say friends.
Well,
You have to be friends in order to say friends. I'm Joe. Welcome to the podcast.
Our friends over at Loot Complex decided to give us a promo code for our listeners to get 6% off on when they do order with our code Phantom that I set up for us, which I thought was pretty cool. He's like, I think it's a he. I'm pretty sure it's a he. But they're like, hey, give me a word or a phrase that you want to use for your promo code, and I chose Phantom because our podcast name is Phantom Ferrari.
So tell them that. Is it the HTML and then the code, or just type it in the homepage?
Oh yeah, when you go to checkout, you're gonna type in the code Phantom, and you'll get 6% off on your order. They have prices varying from as little as $6 up to $60.
What's $6?
You can get air fresheners, stickers.
Hey, actually, I got one, and it smells awesome in my truck.
It smells really good. It's got a lewd babe on one side and two girls making out on the other.
Succubus, I think, is the line that it's from.
They have this shirt right here, which on the one sleeve it's their logo, Loot Complex. On the other one, it's Japanese for sexy / slutty complex, which is supposed to be lewd. And this design, which I thought was like I had to get it. It's very.
Is that her hand?
No, it's someone else's hands.
I like to think that is John Hamm's hand.
John Hamm.
Yeah. John Hamm.
Hmm.
Well, who would you think? Who do you want the hand to belong to?
Me, preferably.
Oh my god, I hate your ass.
Nathan Fillion.
I can't hear you. Sorry.
Can't hear you, Bear.
Nathan Fillion.
Nathan
that?
Fillion. Gotcha.
From Firefly?
Yeah, just this really cool guy.
Just a few other things on that too. They have beanies, dad hats.
What do the dad hats have on them?
They have a dad hat that says Loot Complex, and they have another one with eyes. They have eyes on it. And it's called a daddy hat on their website. It's pretty funny. I thought that was a little funny thing. So go ahead, go over to their website, and when you check out, use the code Phantom, and it helps us out. So
Helps them out too.
yeah, it helps all of us out.
Their stuff's really cool.
It's
I
good for everybody.
took a look at it earlier. It was
Some pretty good stuff. It's a lot of pre-orders right now. Just want to make sure they get enough orders and not over-order things. They do conventions and sell a lot of merch there too. I found out about them because I think a famous cosplayer was wearing their stuff, and then actually
John Hamm?
yes, and then two of my friends here in Omaha also wear some of their merchandise, which I thought was awesome. And if you have any questions, you can always respond to them on Instagram, and they usually get back to it right away. Because I had a question about this shirt when I bought it, and they respond to me in like 20 minutes less than. So that's that part. Let's get into the other part of the podcast where.
Also, if we get enough sales on our promo code, they said they would sponsor us, which means more content, better equipment,
Yeah,
Cool clothes.
cool clothes for sure.
but better equipment. That's what I want. That's what I want for
Yeah,
sponsorship.
but the cool clothes.
The cool.
I like really
Cool.
crappy equipment, to be honest, because you really gotta
As long as your clothes look cool.
you gotta push the envelope, and you really gotta go above and beyond to deal with shitty stuff, and you gotta make sure you're funny so people forget about it. It's not about people will say that a lot.
Actually,
Graphics don't make the game.
As long as you look cool.
That's gonna
Okay.
happen.
We're trying to make some changes to the podcast. If you've seen on the Instagram that we have, I've been putting up a few behind the scenes things.
We're getting into editing.
We're working on doing a lot of editing now to our podcast.
Just little humor bits here and there.
some of us don't get all the jokes, but it's
A lot
not
of
for
flying
us.
Jesuses.
Yeah, there was a flying Jesus or two.
Little known fact: Jesus could fly.
Where's your neat T-shirt that you got?
Underneath this.
Oh,
Okay, nice. And then we're gonna be.
I believe in God. I just don't want others to know.
We're looking
Oh.
into getting a better camera as well as
more mics.
more mics.
So we're not all just doing this.
Yeah, so we're not super close to the mic.
That's the
talking
mic?
into it.
Yeah.
I thought that was the mic.
Nope.
Oh.
Nope. This is just an iPad.
And if we have more than one mic, we can all stare at our own mic when we talk.
Hello, Mike.
Can I put mine in my mouth?
You can put it wherever you want. It'll be your mic.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Oh.
So, that's just the things that we have coming up for you guys. We're gonna go ahead now and do some Phantom interrogation.
Well, let's keep talking about our. What do we?
Okay.
What else are we doing to improve the podcast?
Yeah.
We're gonna buy a new camera, and it's gonna be better than an iPhone, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully it's better than an iPhone because who uses an iPhone to record podcasts on to begin with?
You know, it's
Not
kind of
us.
it's kind of niche when you record somewhat professional stuff with non-professional equipment.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did I use that word right? Niche,
It's kind of niche.
or is it quiche?
Quiche. It's definitely.
It's
Quiche.
definitely quiche, definitely. So yeah, we're looking into getting a camera and a few mics,
More content, more often.
editing, making our stuff a little bit more enjoyable to watch, a little bit better for
Instead
the
of just
viewer.
watching us all ramble on.
Bigger,
talk
bolder,
to each
and
other.
blacker.
Oh wait, no,
Bigger,
no.
bolder, and blacker.
And navy blue.
Like these nips.
Do you guys have anything else you guys want to
I
talk
know.
about before we do interrogation?
I'm a gorilla. How many crabs did you get today?
Not very many.
And I'm promoting Loot Complex.
2.5.
All right.
All right.
And I got a little bit of crabs from your mom, too.
Ah.
My first question is actually a joke to Shane. Because
Well, that's nice.
because before the podcast we had a little bit of an argument. So what hobbies do you
No,
have
I-
aside from skating?
I threw a bitch fit, and you stood there crying.
I just watched.
Come on.
What are some of your hobbies?
Cut this out.
No. Clap!
What are some of your hobbies besides skating? What else do you enjoy?
I'm actually a pretty big movie buff. I love movies, but that's just pretty much everyone probably.
Is that a hobby to
Hobby?
watch movies though?
Yeah.
It could be.
If you watch it enough. Everybody goes and sees movies, but some people, spend a lot of their time sitting down and like criticizing the movies afterwards and like, comparing ideas from different movies. There's a whole complex thing going on. with it.
Complex.
Oh.
Lewd complex.
If I was-
Hey.
Oh yeah. You know what my favorite part of the zoo is? The cat complex.
Complex.
Yeah.
Hey.
Lewd
Actually,
complex.
no, actually,
You
do
don't
like
think
this
watching
shirt.
movies is a hobby?
It's really. I thought it was gonna be like a heavy.
What would you
a
consider
heavy
it?
shirt, but it's not. It's really light.
Yeah, what would you consider a hobby?
What would you consider watching movies?
Recreation?
Yeah.
No,
It's a hobby.
that is a hobby.
Yeah. So I
Smoking
guess.
weed is a hobby. It's gonna be
So for
confusing.
my first question
What about
I have
cosplay,
here.
Shane?
Well,
That's
yeah,
a hobby.
cosplay's awesome, dude.
That's a hobby.
That's not a hobby. That's a dream come true.
What are your hobbies?
I'm not sure if anybody can relate. I don't know if Billy can or not, but anybody who watches this, it didn't really become anything serious until that first person asked for a picture, and you go to a convention, people walk up. If it's good enough, people will take your picture, and even if it's not that good and it's kind of funny, they'll still do it. But
The internet
just
is
like-
magical.
that's what all the hard work that goes into a cosplay is all about, in my opinion. It's like halfway through, it's like, is this really worth it? This and that, and then you
Like
muster
that
up
big
the
stack of foam over there.
yeah, like that. Muster up the motivation to do it, and then it all pays off because people shit. I was trying to think of a word. People show appreciation for it in their own way. Just by people at conventions are fairly nice anyway. They'll say,
There's-
good job, this and that.
There's a lot bigger following of cosplay than I ever imagined. Like, I get on Instagram and stuff because I like Bill's stuff and your stuff when you go to your cons. So that comes up in my feed. And I never realized cosplay was such a huge thing.
It's a $1 billion industry.
Yes. My first con, I didn't even know what it was. I was selling Pokemon cards, believe it or not. And this guy's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be at this address. Go ahead, come meet me here." And I just met a bunch of people dressed up as my favorite game characters and anime characters, and I was like, "This is a real thing. Holy shit!"
It's like a haven for people who don't take part in mainstream stuff like sporting events,
Sports ball.
sports period, I guess.
Just mainly sports.
And like it's a
I mean, well, no, because
it's
there
an
are.
outlet. It's an outlet to express their creativity and like
Well, that makes sense. I mean, there's a convention for everything.
yeah.
There's like
Furry cons.
there's
Lincoln
legitimately
cons,
quilting conventions. It's just
Bigfoot.
Haunted house conventions.
There's actually
Yeah, those are fun.
there's a Bigfoot convention here in, I think it's Hastings. And
Where am I going?
You're not tall enough.
Oh, and I'm a gorilla.
Well,
Yeah, I
yeah.
bet if I lay down on these nips though, I'd.
You're less of a gorilla with that suit on.
Oh,
I don't know. I think you're still a gorilla.
thanks.
I don't know. My point is like I would have never gotten the motivation to do anything further than my first cosplay if it weren't for people like recognize me as the character I was trying to like cosplay and like reinforcing my I guess confidence as far as actually cosplaying goes.
I'm cosplaying Tarzan right now.
Tarzan was not a monkey.
Yeah, but he had monkey friends, and gorillas aren't monkeys; they're apes.
Yeah, but you're still not Tarzan. I don't,
What's the difference? Do
I
you know?
don't get
I'm
your
cosplaying
joke
the
right
movie.
Are you just a puddle?
Tantor? Kerchak?
Kerchak. I'm Kerchak.
There you go.
Pork plum.
Shane, what is your question for us today?
What is your hobby?
Oh yeah, what is your hobby? You never answered.
Oh, I do.
Not fishing either.
Yeah, fishing is an obvious one. I say it all the time. The haunted house convention, you mentioned that. I've worked at a haunted house for. This October will be my 9th year at the same place. Skating. I skate with Shane. Sometimes.
Is that what you call it? Hey, watch me try the boneless for 3 hours.
And then sit down and have a cigarette for 4 hours.
Oh, my ankle.
Which one do you use that? Which one's the ankle one?
All of them.
All of them.
Nah, it's usually me that fucks with me.
Yeah, I guess the other hobby would be the haunted house thing. I mean, I've done it for 9 years. It'll be.
This kind of
It's the special effects.
no. I'm not talking
It's like
about
the
that at all.
gore?
It.
No, not so much gore.
That's why.
What special effects do you put into haunted house? Like the
Like, light, like everything from lighting to creating our own props.
Jumping out of a fridge, scare people.
Yeah, we could do.
Oh, I forgot that was open.
That makes me wonder, like, people, maybe like on a website that has a description for
I'm
the person's
so-
profile. How do they fit all? There's like a humongous list of hobbies. I'm like, how do you fit all that shit into your
Your
day-to-day life?
schedule, yeah. And then, well, if you read through some of them, you're like, well, that's not even a hobby. That's everybody does that.
Breathing oxygen.
Yeah.
My hobby's being on my phone.
Hey, Bill, what's your hobby?
Watching anime, collecting anime stuff.
But wait, watching movies isn't a hobby, but watching anime is?
Well,
Why? Because it's so obscure.
Is it
It's
lewd?
not even obscure anymore.
actually, that's one of my other questions. So
Is
we'll
it
talk about that a little bit later.
Futanari?
We don't talk about futa on this podcast.
Why not?
Shane, what is your question? I love collecting things. That's
Lint in your belly button.
yep. I collect DVDs,
Those aren't DVDs.
Those are DDBs.
so
BBB.
BBBs. And I got a collection of anime figurines up here.
They can't see that.
I know they can't see it, but I collect anime figures. I collect bottle caps. I have a whole thing right behind Joe of bottle caps.
I used to collect Star Wars stuff.
You know what sucks though is when that thing for the Fallout came, and like the guy sent in all his bottle caps. I wish I would have done that first, because I had way more than he had. There's like 10,000 or something in there.
Is it really a pissing contest with bottle caps?
There we go. Shane, what is your question?
What did you want to be when you were a kid? pretty good, huh?
Ooh, that is a good one.
That's a really good one. I can answer that. I have mine already.
Yeah.
An ape. Dream come true.
Yay!
I mean, a monkey. Whatever you want.
I was gonna work with animals. Is what I wanted to do.
And it came true.
It did. I was a zookeeper.
You worked with
for
an
a
animal
little
last night.
bit. Oh!
My pussy.
No, I was
Put
a
a vagina
zookeeper for a
floating
little
in
bit. Just really, really quick across screen. Like
What?
almost where you can't tell what it is.
What the fuck was that? Let me go back and try and slow it
Make
down.
it super, super tiny and have it pop up on Shane's shirt or something.
I'm keeping this all in too. We're working on editing, so
Let's get some green
it'd
duct
be-
tape too, so we can like
Green screen
Impose.
vaginas onto our
just nipples that aren't ours.
way ahead of you.
That is yours.
My real nipples are actually like up
You have a-
here.
Pitch black chest.
What did I want to do when I was a kid? For a long time, I wanted to draw cartoons.
You do.
But
The dream came true. You just don't get paid for it.
But it I don't know, when I realized that one of my friends, Matt, was a lot better than me and how much work he put into it, I just was like,
Did it stop you from enjoying it?
no, I still enjoy doing art now, but what was it? When I went to college the first time and taking art history and everything, like how to do different art styles, like I don't like this at all. I don't want someone to teach me how to do art, so I dropped out. I was like, I'm going to school for the wrong reason.
Well, most of the most famous artists never went to school or anything like that.
Yeah, and that's what I realized. I was like, I'm going to school for the wrong reason right now, and I don't want to be here. So I dropped out, and I just make art on the side now. Very little.
And sell it. Top dollar.
I make very little art now, but I used to make a whole lot. One of my mom has one of my pieces of art hanging up at her house. But I think that's what I wanted to do for a long time is do cartoons. Bleed in.
I guess we got blue news.
Whoa.
I want to go back to Joe because we kind of cut him off. I
Oh.
want to be a zookeeper.
Yeah, I wanted to be a zookeeper, and I was for a short, like really short time.
So this will attract.
It just didn't work out.
Here you go, bud.
So I still do want
Why
to.
not? Now you kill him. Asshole. That really did a 180.
Yeah, I skinned this gorilla today. That's what he was doing.
What?
Picking up his own shit.
Like, I'm gonna kill this guy.
I still want to work with animals though, and I would. But that's it for me.
Bet no one's done a podcast with a piece of paper in their mouth. I mean, nose.
See, new content.
Joe, what is your question for us?
Shane never answered.
Oh,
A priest mechanic.
dream come true.
All right. I was raised Catholic, so, and I really looked up to my grandparents. They basically raised me, so, my grandma had high hopes. My grandma had high hopes for me, and I was like, I know I'll make my grandma love me. I'll be a priest. And then, and then I was like, I really like cars because I used to do model cars. That used to be my hobby. I was really good at it. I think maybe that's why interest in cosplay and like kind of a knack for it. I wanted to be a priest mechanic. Yeah. And then when I turned 13, I guess I wanted to be a pro skater, but
Dream come true. How many boards have you broken? 18?
In the past, like 4 months.
from when I started,
No. I doubt you would know how many boards
Over
you
the
broke.
summer, you probably. And when I witnessed,
probably like over the summer, probably like 15.
I witnessed at least like 7. So I was always like,
Well, I'd probably say over a couple hundred.
Did I ever tell you
Throughout my
about
skating
the
career.
skateboard that he broke right after he bought it? It's actually pretty
Wasn't that
hilarious.
much blood.
It was actually pretty hilarious. we were out skating because I would ride my cruiser around just to hang out with Shane, and we went up to his work and he did a kickflip off a ledge that like was this tall and fucking snapped the board. He's like,
oh, I've heard that.
it was so funny because we go in there, we sit down, we eat, and then he's like, all right, let's go skate.
Oh, outside of Runga?
Yeah, it was great. I thought it was. I mean, it sucked because he just bought that board.
I've had a lot of boards like that. One time I broke one on a pedestrian bridge in Omaha. I mean, yeah, it's in Omaha. And it was like 30 minutes after I bought it. Took it back to the shop, And they're like, what the hell? Here's a free one.
Nice.
Nice.
There was a period in time where me and Shane were skating so much, like almost every day. What was that, last summer or the summer before?
Last summer we were here.
Or no, maybe it was not last fall, but the fall before.
Yeah, it was the fall before because I
So-
was like, hey Shane, what are you doing?
There was
Oh,
there was a
Mercy.
period of time that Shane we'd go skate, we'd go to the park or something, and if I heard an off noise when he landed a trick, I'd be like, "You break another board?" Yeah.
You know it.
Shane just has boards galore.
Now I buy them in bulk.
What is your question for us? You realize that you have a hole in the pot right there.
In the crotch. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got some banger questions.
All right. All right.
The first one was inspired.
Let me ask you. I have a lot of filler ones. Let me ask you a stupid one real quick.
Get your stupid.
Is your mom hot?
All right.
Don't think about my mom.
Really?
I don't think about my mom like that.
If you had to.
No.
You're saying no, she's not hot?
Wow.
You're rude.
That's fucked up. All right. So
No,
real
because I don't want to
question.
answer that question at all.
Because your mom watches this?
You guys.
Your mom's
fucking-
number
what are
one
you
fan.
scared of?
I forgot that it's open. I just don't want someone to like, hey, that.
What is
that-
this? Ghost Hunters? What? What was that?
Your podcast sucks!
What an asshole.
Bitch.
I wrote mine on paper.
Yes. I have an iPad.
I have a...
So my first question was inspired. I was telling me and the maintenance guy where I work were talking about this.
What's...
Worst thing you've ever done to someone that was supposed to be a joke.
I broke Nicole's couch.
Shane, you're first because you have a real answer, I'm sure.
That was a real answer.
I'll follow up his with a similar story. My dad was drinking one night, and I got into his Jack Daniels. It was like one of the first few times I've ever gotten drunk, and I thought it was hilarious to break his great-grandma's chair. And it was like a really old, shitty, uncomfortable thing. I was like, woo! Woo! And then after I like snapped the back off, he fucking busted in tears. Why, Jay? Why? Hey, everything's a joke here. It's like,
You meant it to be a joke?
yeah. I thought he'd think it's funny. Thought it was funny, but I have a serious one for that one.
Holy shit.
Woo! 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 Billy, okay? You broke Bill. You know, we're zooming in on your face for this whole laughing bit.
Don't make fun of my laugh, asshole.
Alright, are you gonna answer like with a real?
That was a real one.
That wasn't
Broke
supposed to
Nicole's
be
couch
funny.
for a joke.
I thought it was funny because her couch was super stiff, and I was
Like,
like,
I know
this
it.
couch is super stiff, and I went to go sit down. I'm like,
Oh, I
What'd you
remember
say?
that.
Oh, I
It
know
was
it'll
a
be
joke.
funny. I'm gonna
yeah, it was.
fuck her so hard the couch breaks.
It was supposed to be a joke because I was there.
Yeah, she just bought her
He
couch.
legitimately was like, huh, it's so sick.
Yeah, I was like, it's like,
And
yeah,
he
you're supposed to be
sunk
able to
down.
plop down and just like enjoy your you know. Let's not talk about this. So let's go. I'm going to bed now.
Right.
Did
Yeah.
Nicole ever find out?
Oh yeah.
She was right
standing
there.
right there. We told her to just ignore it. And that was it.
That's the worst thing. You broke it.
That's the one thing that comes to mind is when I was supposed to be a joke.
Mine's pretty intense.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any fear of spiders?
No,
Yes.
I
You
don't.
don't like spiders?
I just think they're.
I don't have a fear of them. I just don't like them.
I just think they're bothersome.
Alright, so in high school, I thought it was going to be really funny to my friend because that's when we learned the, hey, guess what I just did joke. And so I went up to do that to him, and he is deathly afraid of anything that crawls from under a rock or just lives in the ground.
Even a crab.
Yeah, he's just anything that crawls and has legs. He's like,
He wouldn't make it 10 minutes on a crab boat.
we all went. We were all trying to get him to go at the zoo once to the bug house, and he teared up. He's that terrified. And I learned how terrified he was because I went, "Hey, guess what I just did?" and I had a spider between, like a real spider between my fingers, like a big ass one, and went, "Hey, guess what I just did?" And stuck it in his mouth.
No, you did not.
Yes.
You thought that would be funny, knowing that he's deathly afraid of
I didn't
spiders.
know at that point. That's when I found out. I stuck it in his mouth. He puked all over himself. Had a panic attack and cried. And it was like, he didn't like heave, he just went.
I probably would too. Fuck
And
that.
then he didn't talk to any of
Any
us.
normal person who got fed a spider
We
would
thought
probably
it-
do that.
We all thought it was gonna be super funny. We didn't know how scared he was of bugs and shit. And we thought it was gonna be hilarious.
It'd be hilarious, but also like, I guess it's more hilarious than it's not.
That's not
because
funny at all,
you didn't know he was afraid of.
Yeah, we
afraid
didn't.
of-
That's why we thought it was gonna be funny.
Yeah.
Cause he always tried to fuck with us, so we were like, well, let's get him back.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
Okay. You need to set up the situation better then.
he went in he went in one of our buddy's sister's room, stole all of her underwear, and stuck them in his locker at school.
Why?
Because he was fucking with us. So we finally decided, well, let's fuck with him instead.
My little
Yeah.
brother accidentally brought a squirt gun to school and he started crying. Because he thought he was going to get arrested.
But yeah, that's what I did. Worst thing I've ever done to someone was supposed to be a
Dream
joke.
come true.
Dream come true.
Oh man, it's pretty fucked up.
I know.
Without
And he seriously like just went, didn't heave or anything. He just cried. Didn't talk to any of us for like a month. Didn't come to school for like a week.
Jeez, you traumatized the kid.
Well, he went on vacation.
Oh.
He tried.
Going to
s-
Australia? Probably not.
They went to Mexico on a cruise.
Spiders are big in Mexico.
Yeah.
Cruises are big in Mexico.
He tried telling us that he was traumatized and had to go into like
Probably
therapy
was.
for a week. And then his mom was like, "Oh, we just got back from Mexico."
Smell my shirt. Make sure it stinks.
All right. I think Shane's up.
No.
Alright.
Your question.
It's not that good.
Or, yeah, go ask it then.
What do you like in an anime? Why do you guys watch anime?
It's about,
Being yourself.
Do you look up into any anime characters at all?
yes,
No, they're not real.
Spike Spiegel.
I changed my answer immediately.
Yeah.
Yikes,
dude.
There's a lot of good ones. You can't have an anime that doesn't involve the main. Is it protagonist or antagonist?
Protagonist.
Protagonist overcoming obstacles.
I look up to Ein the Corgi.
In the face of diversion, they overcome all obstacles.
What jacket did I put my Bebop pin on? That I got.
That's
that
not
one?
what we're talking about.
Well, it's a side question for Bill. Oh, never mind. I remember.
Okay, because I don't remember. I honestly don't know.
It was Ein and.
I think it's about 75%, or it's like 60% action. I love action.
Does the soundtrack or the intro have to do anything with it?
No.
'Cause
60% action, 30% humor, and then
I have mine.
there's a lot, I guess. Okay, 5% cutie pies, and then 5%.
Babes. Lewd babes.
I don't know.
What's cutie pies?
5% costume ideas, outfits. I
That's a
don't know.
good one.
The stuff they wear?
Yeah.
The stuff that you can say, oh, I could definitely easily cosplay that.
I like the ability to relate to anyone in particular. Like I could probably be Spike Spiegel if I was born in that universe.
Let me
Honestly, can't hear you ever talk.
You'll be able to hear it on your phone.
let me answer mine first. I feel like you're gonna draw yours out because you're a big nerd.
I'll scoot closer to it. You think that?
I like anime. I like watching anime because it's honestly the animation for me. Like they animate the emotions so much better than American cartoons. Like they have specific animation.
They've been doing it a lot longer, I think.
Yeah. They have specific animations for like when a character's shocked. And there's different levels of shock within the animation.
And they're all like stereotypical too. Like
right.
they're like the beat of sweat.
Yeah, or like the big eyes with the blurs around them, or when they're
Or
like,
like the squiggly eyes.
yeah, or when they're like down, they get the like rain.
And the X's on their eyes if they're
yeah.
dead. They're like playing on the
Or
humor.
like the cute stuff where their eyes they like get little kitten faces and stuff. I love the animation because it.
Watch
It-
Gintama, you'll freaking love it.
It emotes
There's a
more.
lot of that.
Animation and anime emotes more.
Animation and anime, which is short for animation. Gotcha.
I'm aware. Dick nuts.
I'm sad for the people who can't enjoy anime because they can't get past that it's a cartoon. And like they can't
and it's more than a cartoon.
get into it because they're like, oh, no,
Well, we
it's
talked
a
about
cartoon.
it-
I can't. That's for kids.
That's
we
the
talked
other
about
half
it the
of
other
mine.
day when you texted me that video of Teen Titans.
Yeah.
American cartoons are fucking dumb.
Can we add that clip?
Hop, 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 I lay my little eggs. Hop, 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 and then I hide my eggs. Hop, 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 oh, won't you find my eggs? Chomp, 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 yes, eat my little eggs. Yummy, yum, yummy, yum, yummy, yum, yummy, yum. Oh, I like to watch you eat my eggs.
YouTube it right
He sent
now.
me a clip of the Easter Bunny and Tooth Fairy, and it was so fucking dumb.
It was borderline softcore porn.
Yeah.
Well,
Like they started making out and they're
Like vomit porn. It was like
some of those companies don't have the freedom most anime
No, which is
companies
why
do.
I
I
mean
think,
Teen Titans, the original Teen Titans animated series was anime.
yeah,
Was like a legit anime.
westernized anime, is it?
Yeah, but it still had all the like products of anime.
Yeah. Who
And
is
in
the-
Teen Titans Go, they make fun of themselves because the creators were so pissed off that people were talking shit about it that they compared themselves
What'd
to.
you expect?
You know which one I'm talking about?
No.
They show a clip of Teen Titans.
You think I'm gonna sit? What do you do? Watch it? Just
It's interesting.
scrutinize it?
It's interesting.
It is
So it's
definitely interesting.
So it
This-
is interesting. It's an interesting show.
No, I mean the comparison that they did.
You can relate to them.
I think that's one of the reasons that
An idiot.
I was looking up his name actually right now. The guy who made Fairly Odd Parents and Danny Phantom, Butch
Who
Hartman.
makes Go?
No, I think that's the reason he left Nickelodeon is he no longer had the freedom to produce content. He said he worked for them for almost 20 years.
God, he produced for a while. He had
That's
What?
what happens when the government gets involved with entertainment,
3 or 4 shows at a time on Nickelodeon.
and it becomes
Yeah.
just a fucking.
He
big
had
old corporate
the one dog detective.
Tough Puppy.
pyramid scheme, dude.
He had that one, Fairly Odd Parents.
And he's done a lot of work on other things.
Danny
too.
Phantom, yeah.
Who's the voice of Vegeta? I don't think
He's.
that's
I
true.
mean,
It's not. But I was agreeing with you because I'm your friend.
We're not friends. You can't say friend unless you're friends.
yeah. I think that's one of the reasons he left, is though he no longer had that freedom, which is different from anime because they are the creators of it. Which is, I wanna point this out. So I was reading One Piece, and the creator he has like art shows for his fans, like fans send in their art, and he'll do an art show for the best ones. Back in volume 37, which there are now 86 volumes, so back in the volume 37, one of the fans sent in a drawing and turned out to be the creator of this show, My Hero Academia.
Really? Wow.
Which is what, volume 79, I read that. So just think that when that came out, the guy was like a huge fan in high school, making art, and now he has his own hit anime, like right next to him. Which is, I don't know, that's why I like it too. It's just, it's original content. You don't have
Yeah.
anyone telling you, we need you to make this. You come up with the story yourself, and you push it onto a team to illustrate your art and make it what it is. So, I mean, that's one of the reasons I like it, is just the freedom. Animation is a big thing.
Yeah, I was gonna add on that. I was staring at your poster here, My Hero Academia poster. So I said I liked how they express the emotions of the characters.
Yeah.
They don't have to do the fun little like cartoony drawings. Because I'm looking at this, and every one of those characters has an emotion.
Yeah.
I guarantee every one of those characters has had one of the funny little pop, like, animated style. Well, of course, I don't know what I'm trying to say. You get what I'm saying? Like the little
Chibi?
I don't know, Bill.
I'm trying to...
I'm
Like
saying,
the-
okay, so they're normal.
Like the
like a cute face on them?
So as their normal person, when they look like a normal person, they still
Yeah.
have emotion.
Yeah.
When they animate a little, like, cartoony emotion to it. So
Yeah.
they have real human emotion and cartoony emotion.
Yeah, so they give him like the big, like, Kachan, Bakugo, like when he gets angry, they give him that little anger vein pop out, and it goes
Right.
Yeah.
And even as a normal person, he still has the emotion.
Yeah. He has it both ways. Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I like it. There's infinite opportunities for them to emote.
I think also, another thing is that they can be role models, even though they're not real. I know you're joking when you said that, but were you? I don't know if you were or not, but I've actually, Naruto was a huge influence for like me and my friends.
Is that why you guys ran around like this?
No, that wasn't even. That was just a meme. It was really fun to do. But it's, I mean, the other reason I like anime too is, I met some of my good friends through it and bonded through anime, either in cosplay form or in real life. Or not cosplay form, just like loving it. Music is good. Expression of emotions. Role models, all of it. And the stories are pretty fucking awesome.
No intro really stands out to me. The only reason why I like intros is that I connect it with the actual show. So otherwise,
I watched every.
Less what the intro is like.
I've watched every intro for One Piece only at least once, and then I'm like, what? Once I watch it the first time, I'm like, okay, and I'll skip past it every other time that it's on for like the next 40 episodes.
I like the intros because it shows you characters that you're not gonna see for like another 4 episodes, and and you're like, wow, who is that?
Yeah, I was talking about that with My Hero Academia, because when I worked at the Alamo,
like if it's a hot anime babe, I'm like, oh, when does she come in?
No, your favorite character from Dragon Ball Z is Shatsu.
I don't know who that is.
Shatsu?
It's a little tiny dude.
Oh,
with Tien.
that guy kicks
Let's
ass.
do a group cosplay of Shatsu, Yamcha, and Tien. You could be Shatsu.
I want to be Krillin.
Can't.
He's the best character.
Talking about intros, I read My Hero Academia as well as watch it, and it's like 100 episodes behind now at this point. It's going to only get further and further. But working at the Alamo, I think there were like 10 of us who watched it, and I've already read a lot of that was happening. So when I'd watch the intro, and I'm like, whoa. Like, I can't wait for you guys to see when this happens. This is so cool.
Why is there an anime about skateboarding?
There probably is. I mean, there's Air Gear, which is rollerblading.
You would say that, you freaking kook.
Get out of here. Locals only.
Okay. I'll
Yeah, why?
let's
Let's
cut
do
this
that.
part too.
Let's make an anime.
What was that?
I do that sometimes when my nose itches.
Oh.
Is that better than...
I guess that's true.
Joe, let's get your last question. Let's move on from this anime one. I didn't think it was actually going to be that long.
I'm not going to ask my last... Oh, yeah, well, I'll ask...
What? Why would you run it if you're not going to ask it?
Well, it's too closely related to what we just talked about, my second question. But I
We'll
do
keep
have
it
a
short
third.
and sweet.
It says, I don't want to answer this, but I'll tell you what it was. What real-life thing would you write fan fiction about?
Fan fiction? That's not anime. It's just...
I'm just saying it.
What, real-life thing?
Yeah, okay, I guess we could go with it. I didn't want it to
thing?
relate too closely to...
Fan fiction, does it have to be
what we just
sexual?
talked about.
No.
It should be, though.
It should. I was going to say...
Oh, you want to be sexual?
No, I just...
Breaking a cold couch.
We're not...
The interaction between a customer and
Man and horse.
drive-through employee at McDonald's.
Oh.
Little 5-minute anime episodes, which is
Biggest
also a thing.
fear.
How much for a packet of sauce? Well, it depends. And then it goes from there.
Alright, so that was obviously a dumb question.
Yeah.
We'll save it for another podcast. So I guess my last question would be your biggest fear.
My biggest fear.
Yeah, because I'm going to use it against you.
Fear of black basketball.
Wow.
I think we know who the funny guy in this podcast is.
Hello. Shit, my biggest.
You
fear.
should, never mind.
Okay.
No, Jim Carrey sucks.
Funny.
何？お前はもう死んでいる。
Biggest fear.
Biggest fear. Wow. Failure.
That's a bullshit.
A little late for that.
I'm gonna get a snare every time Shane says something.
Biggest fear. Shit.
Like, is there an animal? Is there, like, are you afraid of water?
Well, you're
I'm not-
afraid
I'm
of
not
an
really
animal because of an end result, probably. Why would you be scared of a tiger? You're afraid it's gonna lacerate your face,
Why are you afraid of gorillas?
piss in your
'Cause
wounds.
They have crazy strength and just fucking murder you.
You're
Remember
afraid of
that?
death.
Remember the incident at the zoo where the film was recording the gorilla and it broke the glass?
I think I'm more afraid of animals. I'd be more afraid of that situation because what if they beat me up so bad and I don't die?
Yeah, I'm not.
That's
I'm
what
not,
I'd be afraid of. Like being a vegetable. That would.
I'm not terrified of animals. It's just the situation. So
Even
have
if I
no
lost
fear
the
of
use of
animals.
my legs, I would.
That's what I
There's
agree
no
with
way.
you, Shane. When I go on my trips, like there's mountain lions some of the places I go.
Mhm.
I would rather it kill me and they find me like a week later or something than it mauls me. I manage to give it like the slip and it runs off and I'm just laying there bleeding to death. I'd rather it just straight up just eat me.
Yeah.
I used to be super. I probably still am. I haven't been on anything tall, probably because of that. Heights,
coasters?
I
Fear
guess.
heights?
Um,
That was gonna take us all to worlds of fun.
I get motion sickness real easy, so it's not that I'm scared of it, but
So you have like
if your
legitimate
phobia is
reason.
throw up, don't take me on a roller coaster.
I have a small fear of heights, but more or less controlled ones that I shouldn't be doing something. Like we went, it was a while back. Shane, Stu, and I went downtown, and I climbed a ladder and only went halfway up, and I started shaking. I was like, why am I doing this?
I'm
Did I
not
do it?
afraid of heights at all.
Huh?
Did I do it?
No, yeah, I think you went higher than I did, but it was a controlled
Ladder.
height. Like if I'm on a roller coaster, I'm not afraid.
It's not controlled at all.
What am I trying? What do you mean it's not controlled? It is. No, it's
Not
not.
really.
No, it's not.
Nobody's really in control of anything.
See, I mean, it's controlled in the instant that I get into the cart, but it's not controlled because it's. I'm not forcing myself to do it outside of getting on the roller coaster. I'm more afraid of heights that I am doing so that I shouldn't be. Like if a step ladder, I'm not afraid of that. I'm not afraid of those heights. I'm afraid of like heights where I look down and it starts to become hard to
Step ladder, that's
focus.
like 3 feet.
Just saying.
You think people are like that?
There are
There are people who are afraid of their feet being off the ground. Somewhat of deep water if I can't see the bottom. It's in that
Yeah.
sense, like in a lake.
I could say that too, because I don't swim very good.
Why though?
I'm
because
fine.
of drowning or something that could be lurking in the depths?
You don't know. Just because you can't see.
You can't see, so you don't know how deep it is. You don't know if it's murky water that's gonna like.
It's like a fear of not knowing, kind of.
Yeah. Because I'm fine with going into the pool, into the 12-foot deep pool. I'm not fine with going into a lake where I can't see the bottom. Like,
I guess-
when you're in the water and you see your feet and you're walking and then all of a sudden you can no longer see them because the water starts to get murky. That I don't like.
It's unsettling.
Yeah.
You know, I guess I could say I'm afraid losing any of the 5 senses, especially after living with them so long. Sure, you would adjust, but it's just
Like,
scary
even if
to
it was
think
your
about.
sense of smell.
Yeah.
It would throw
Oh.
your whole world off.
Like if I went to bed and woke up blind, I'd probably freak out.
Just
Well,
even in
obviously
one
anybody.
eye.
Well, then it would change a lot of things. Like, you can't watch TV or play games. I mean, you can still experience them by listening, but
You can
it's
listen
like,
to podcasts. Not ours, because it's not audio.
I'm actually working on.
Well, you had your
Going to-
chance to talk about that.
Okay, we won't go back on topics this time.
We'll discuss that at a later date.
Yeah, fear of the 5 senses, including the 5 senses. I don't think I'd be afraid to lose touch though. Like, to not worry about.
Think about that more.
To not worry about.
Think about your gameplay. If you can't feel what you're doing, how are you going to know what you're doing?
I guess so. Yeah.
You can't.
I mean, you have muscle
You can't
memory,
enjoy a
but
kiss anymore.
I've never.
Masturbating's out of the question.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Bringing your bum bums out of the question.
Damn it.
You mean flicking the old bean?
No, your bum bum.
Oh.
If there's a bean on your bum bum, you should get it checked out.
Because I ate Chipotle.
Oh yeah.
That's not what the bean is.
I guess.
but-
How about I slap you? I guess mine would be dark bathrooms. Actually, let me revise that. Mirrors in the dark.
What
It's
does
like
that
it's an
mean?
outlandish fear.
What does that mean? You have to explain that.
So, if
Like
you-
when you go into like in a down, you're down walking down this hallway and you go into Shane's bathroom.
or any mirror in the dark. So let's say like when I go to the bathroom,
Yeah.
I won't walk in. I won't turn the light on as I'm walking in. I will reach around the corner and turn the light on before I go in.
Okay.
There's been times where I didn't know where a light switch was to a bathroom, and I either went to the person's backyard or just didn't go to the bathroom at all.
I used to do that with, like, if at my grandma and grandpa's house, I'd always get bitched at because I'd leave the basement light off or on, and the light switch is at the bottom of the stairs. So I was terrified once I shut it off, and like you look behind yourself down a dark set of stairs, you fucking sprint up them because you never know. You think someone's gonna grab you. That's why I left it on.
I dated a girl, and she always wanted me to stay over. I couldn't stay at her place because she had a vanity mirror in her room facing her bed.
Just freaky. What if you saw something?
I couldn't do it. Well, that's why I'm afraid. So when I was real little, my cousins were trying to teach me what Bloody Mary was,
Yeah.
and everyone gives me shit for it because they're like, "Oh, that's not even scary.
Want
It's
to try it
not
right now? For
No,
the podcast?
I'll cry.
For Phantom Ferrari? Instagram?
Unless you want to put
Yeah,
a
the
video of
same.
someone having a massive panic attack.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, we can all adjust our fears.
Uh,
You can give me a shot while I'm sleeping and I'll wake up. I can't feel my legs.
Anyway, so they took me down. They were finished. They added on to their basement. They found one of their walls collapsed, and they found there was like a hallway.
In your basement?
No, my cousin's basement when I was little. They found out the original house had a bigger basement, so there was like a hallway. So they fixed it, and we're finishing the basement, and they added a bathroom. So the bathroom was unfinished. There was a toilet. They had the toilet working because me and my cousins always played downstairs, and they were older than me. So they took me into the bathroom, and I didn't know what Bloody Mary was. They took me into the bathroom, had me say it three times, and they turned the lights off. See, I get all fucking nervous talking about it. I'm sweating. Not because of the gorilla costume. But
You're quite the thespian, Joe.
Okay,
So they
turn the light off, do the Bloody Mary thing. As I'm saying the third Bloody Mary, I didn't realize they had ran out of the bathroom. They slammed the door shut, and the knob broke off because they slammed it so hard because they were just finishing the base. They had just put the door in that day.
Today?
Yeah, today.
Oh.
Wow.
And there was no way for me to get out. They turned off all the lights in the basement, ran upstairs, and I had no way to get out. It was at the end of this unfinished basement hallway that
I
goes
probably would've
nowhere. And the only way for me to get out was a split hole in the wall where they put the vent that was open because they didn't put the grates on it yet. And I crawled as far as I could till I saw some kind of light coming from the GameCube or the N64. Because that's all I saw was a little green
You
dot.
climbed in a vent?
No, I went through the hole in the wall because I couldn't get out the door. All I saw was a green light from the N64, so I went towards it, and here they come, turn the light on, and I run upstairs. They got in so much trouble, but ever since then I haven't been able to, like, dark bathroom, dark room with a mirror in it. If I know there's a mirror in that room, I won't go in it unless the lights are on.
Oh.
Yeah.
So fear of dark.
It's not a fear of the darkness, it's a fear of... It's like I told you it was outlandish.
Yeah.
It's a fear of mirrors in the
No,
dark.
That was a
Stop.
stupid fear.
I'm also afraid of centipedes.
Fear of going to... well, I used to have this fear. Going over to a friend's house and them not having a fan or a ceiling fan. Because I can't fall asleep without one going.
Oh, that makes sense.
You know, there was a time. Yeah, I don't know what just happened there. Hold on. There was a time. That was weird. When I used to stay at my friend's house, and for some reason I just put it in my head that their house was haunted, and we just burst out crying, and to the point that I had to go home like 3 times trying to stay at his house. Like I don't know why it just kept happening, and then all of a sudden it just stopped. I was fine. But like yours, I'm the opposite. I prefer to have mirrors because it was actually like last week. I have a fear of like noises when no one's around. Shane was sleeping, and I was in my room just like playing around on my phone, and I heard something out here like scurrying around. I think there's a mouse in here. It was Earl outside.
It's not an outlandish fear. A lot of people are like that.
I used to be afraid of open closet doors.
But
I couldn't sleep unless.
But I heard something, and it was after you left, so the door was unlocked. So I was like, oh fuck, someone's in here. I'm gonna die tonight. So I turned my flashlight on, and I'm walking down the hall, and fucking for some reason, Shane's bathroom door is cracked. It's closed, but it's cracked. And I was like, I'm not going in there. Like I seriously like turned around, came back here. I shut my door, but stood outside of it just in case someone was going to come out of there.
What were you going to do?
Whenever I find myself...
Nothing, because I didn't have anything. I was just going to die, I guess.
Whenever I find myself in that situation, I enter each room. Here, I'll just do it around this corner here.
I thought he was going to round
You gotta do it like over here.
Oh, really?
Even if there's no one there?
I'm like, if I walk in and there's like, I don't know.
See, all I
I
did
run
in
away
that
from it.
situation,
I go around. I was like with a fucking
So you every
fist
time
cocked, ready to blow.
So every time you hear a noise, you go into each room.
Well, it used to be worse. I used to dart to the kitchen, grab like 2 knives, and walk around the house.
I did that once. Remember a couple of years ago when we had that really bad snowstorm for like a week, and that one night it dumped. It was like 40-mile-an-hour winds, and it was snowing. So our
Holy shit,
roommate,
I don't remember this. I don't.
me and Dave's roommate, at the time we had a third roommate. His car alarm started going off, and in that same week we had a string of people breaking into the property. So I was in my boxers with like no shoes, just a t-shirt, and it's like 25 below, blowing wind. And I grabbed the biggest kitchen knife we had and go outside, looking around.
Start swinging it. Got it.
I did.
Go on, get.
Go on, man, get. So let's go back to Shade. Shade, you every time you hear a noise, you go into every room and just start swinging.
Well, if I know Billy's not here, or if I
Yeah, I
know
knew-
that I'm all by
right.
myself,
Just in case. You
I just bum rushed. I'll just explain instead of fucking enacting it. I always have that
enacted
problem.
sitting down.
Okay, walk up to a closed door, like a closet or something. Oh, really? Pretend like I'm just doing my own thing here. Oh, yeah.
What are you
lurch
fucking
into
John?
it.
Are you John Wayne? Oh, really?
Well, you're
Yeah,
better,
you know,
you're better off that way
That's true.
instead of like, oh, there's a noise, and then run away into
On
the
the bright
room
s-
and try and hide.
On the
Because they're
bright-
just going to come to you if there's really is someone.
On the bright side, though, of the one time that there actually is someone in your closet when you start swinging, they're gonna be so thrown off. 'Cause you're just
Yeah.
like, oh, really?
Like, oh, he doesn't know I'm here.
They're gonna be like, what the?
No,
Huh?
yeah. See, I did the opposite.
Even if they have a gun, if you
all the lights
surprise
were
them, they're not going to know.
all the lights were off. So what I did was I was with my flashlight, just walking around, and then it's like Shane's bathroom door's like cracked closed, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna go back to my room. There's nothing here. So I walked back to my room. I turned the flashlight off and shut my door. I'm standing right here behind, like right where we're recording at.
For like
And
10 minutes.
I was just looking down the hallway to see, because it's pitch black down there at night.
It
I was
is.
just watching the bottom of the door to see if anything was going to come out of there. And then finally I just went up to the door and I like kicked it open like very slowly and used the mirror to look in there.
You cook very
I think it's
Just a
little tap, tap, tap.
little tap and it opened up like, because I didn't want to be forward
Right.
because, and I just look in the mirror and because I'm looking into a shower and I'm looking behind the door and everything. I swear for a second I thought I seen something because his medicine cabinet was off the wall a little bit. So like, oh fuck, there's someone. Oh, no, it's not.
Shane's
Okay.
whole life is off the wall.
Off the hook.
off. You know what'd be
And
really
then-
scary? Oh, God.
And then I just went to my bathroom just to make sure that while I was down there, they didn't go and sneak into my room. So I checked out, and luckily I have the mirror that covers the entire wall. So I'm like, okay, nothing in here. I just went back to doing what I was doing, but I think Earl was out there just making noise. So fear
It'd be
of
scary to
fear
get
of noises at night.
possessed by a demon. That would be scary. And the
It's not like
lore
you would
is,
know.
if you think about it, you're sending an invite to any and all demons. They know when you talk about it. Don't ever say, "I welcome a demon in my body."
You said it.
I welcome,
Great.
I welcome a demon in
Now we
my
have
body.
instead of spinning Jesus, we have to do spinning. All right, so that's gonna be the end of this podcast.
Remember to go to lootcomplex.com or
Yeah.
check out them on Instagram, and I'll link you to their site as well, and use code Phantom for
Or just go check them out. They got a lot of good product.
their story is always updated too with behind the scenes stuff.
Hot
They
drops,
do
too.
all the clothing before it drops. So go to Loot Complex, all one word, I believe, on
Instagram.
Instagram.
Just put the tags in the video.
Yeah, I'll put the tags in the video, and I'll put it down below in the description area.
Yeah. So yeah, give them a look, give them a follow.
And then
Also us too.
use the code Phantom PHANTOM for 6% off on your order. Follow us on Instagram. I just set it up recently. Phantom Ferrari, all one word, and subscribe to us on YouTube. Give us any feedback that you guys may have. I put it in every video, and if you guys have any feedback for us, if the podcast is too long, if we could
Get over it, because your attention span's way too short.
Or just skip to
It's
the
a
end
fucking
so you can see all the
podcast.
stuff.
Do something else while you listen to our podcast. I know it's on YouTube, but you can just let it play. Do your laundry. You'll laugh. You'll cry. You'll stain your clothes with blood.
And you'll learn a little something about yourself along the way.
All right. Have a good night, guys.
Bye.
Peace.